this is going to be a magical conversation between myself, Kevin May of Sacred Story Weavers, and my good friend Shine of Shining Lion and World Peace Tribe. So if you're tuning into this now or in the future, welcome. Happy Moon Day. Today is a beautiful half moon where the moon is in between being new and full, which is a very beautiful day, kind of like the equinox. It's like a day of balance. And so if you're tuning into this now or in the future, welcome. And I invite you to say in the comments where you're tuning in from, because part of this conversation is going to be about, how we're unifying as a collective. We're all these little points on the web of life, and we're all forming this better network so that we can, share ideas, share resources, share solutions, share stories, and we can, co-create a more beautiful world. So if you're joining us now or in the future, please just drop in the comment where on Mother Earth you are tuning in from, so that we can begin to clarify this beautiful network across the globe. And I'd like to welcome my dear friend Shine, also known as Shane Rilling of Shining Lion Music. He's also the founder of the World Peace Tribe. And I invite you to share, Shine, what you've been up to on this beautiful planet and any messages that you want to share with our beautiful online community.
Okay, well, aloha everyone. I got my peace stick, talking stick, and yeah, I'm so grateful to be here with you and with my friend Kevin May, and just uniting on what's most alive in our hearts and in our lives, and tuning into all the ways that we can really lift each other up and inspire each other to have a beautiful, powerful impact on the future of life on this planet. So love you. Peace.
Thank you, brother. I've got my piece. I've got my peace stick here.
That's sweet.
This peace stick. So we're gonna explain what peace sticks are in a minute. This singular peace stick here has probably been held by, I'm gonna say, at least 700 different hands.
Wow.
This peace stick I got. So Shine and I used to live together in Ojai, California, way back in the ancient days of 2013,
Yep.
2014. So we're basically in a different millennium now. But back in those days, I got one of these peace sticks from Shine, and I've had it with me at a huge amount of community gatherings over the last 7 or 8 years, and it's been used as a talking stick in countless beautiful community circles. It's been played with the actual game peace sticks hundreds of times. So this stick is really sacred to me, and just like all the energy that has been infused into it. So would you be cool with just explaining what peace sticks is, how it works, and why people should check it out?
Totally. Got my talking stick.
Sure.
So peace sticks was a total surprise in my life. I majored in biology, and I was going to go get a PhD and do a lot of work to help animals and people connecting with animals on the planet. And I was on a hike one day with my dog Spot, who's a Rottweiler, like my best friend, and my brother and another friend of ours, Oak Tree. And we were in this old growth oak forest, and something just inspired my brother and I to pick up these sticks and start throwing them back and forth. And we basically went into this like hyper flow state. And we grew up playing sports and surfing together and skating, so I know what that energy is like. And we just got like so into it. And on one level, it was like this kind of like ancient native, like warrior battle energy, but at the same time, it was this amazing connection and like brotherhood and friendship. And that was the start of it. I had no idea what it was or anything. And from there, I just kept finding sticks, and I'd ask people to play. And over the years, it's evolved a lot, and we've shared it with thousands of people. And I think at its essence, it's just a game or a practice where you throw sticks back and forth and get into a rhythm. And the main intention is just to always throw it in the way that helps your friend. And that I feel is kind of the paradigm shift, because human beings have been playing so many games and so many, bigger games that are about competition. And in the competition, we've got to be like scared of each other and trying to outdo each other, and sometimes cheating and all these weird things, and worrying about the judgment. Like, am I good? Am I bad? Did I make the team? And
Yeah.
so when we switch it to just throwing loving rainbows, as we say, just every single movement I do is my best for you, and you do the same, and all of a sudden it's like this trust and connection emerges that is just an incredible feeling. And playing it also brings you into a flow state, like a state of no mind and pure presence, moving meditation. So I've just found that after doing it with like so many thousands of people, from little toddlers to like my grandma, and I've done it in drug and alcohol rehab centers and just all these different places, that it just wakes up this joy, like this inner playful joy in people, and also kind of gives them the opportunity to feel pure presence. Because I think in this culture, almost everyone is struggling with like the power and the domination of our thinking mind. And to go into that state where the mind disappears and we just become like one with the moment is a huge relief, and I think has so many healing benefits. And that was like one of the big things I would always hear in the rehab centers, was like these, a lot of people were really suffering from these mental loops of self-criticism and just judging their whole life. And they would finish playing and they'd be laughing, and they'll be like, it's the first time in however long that I stopped thinking about my problems, or that I just felt like this peace. And yeah, so that's my prayer, is that anyone and everyone gets a chance to play this and, connect on that deeper level with whoever you're playing with. And at the same time, wake up the supernatural powers of our body and what we're capable of, because we are animals, and like we have this ability to function at incredibly high levels, and this kind of brings that to life.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
so much, brother.
yeah.
Yeah, Peace Sticks is an absolutely amazing game. I've got two more with me right here. I like to twirl them in my fingers while I'm walking, and this is
Uh-huh.
like a really great moving meditation. Um, there's so one of the things I love about Peace Sticks is there's so many ways to use them, so many
Yeah.
different things. The game itself is phenomenal, and there's so many other applications. It's like this very multi-dimensional tool,
Yes.
and I'm just such a huge believer in Peace Sticks. I'm so grateful that you and your team have been sharing them with the world. I've seen firsthand like literal freaking miracles happen
Mhm.
with this game.
I learned that you have to focus so you don't get hurt. I learned that you have to sort of make eye contact with the stick.
I learned that everyone plays differently, and that's what makes it so exciting and so fun, is to play with someone new and experience a different energy and learn how to come into harmony with it.
Don't battle, don't do war. I recommend this to my friends because it's awesome.
Yeah.
One story that comes to mind is like, so I organized this big, I help organize this big event here in Pittsburgh, and it's like a 1 day festival. And so one day we were planning the festival, so we were having a planning meeting at this big park, uh, getting ready for the festival. And so we had like our core organizing team of like 5 or 6 people, and we were just like getting the energy moving. So we started playing Peace Sticks in a circle, and that's one of my favorite ways to play it, is with like a group in a circle.
Hmm.
Everyone's throwing across the circle, and so we're doing that, the 5 of us just having a good time. And like these little kids are playing at the
Yeah.
park in a family, and they're like, "Ooh, what's going on over there?" And we're like, "Hey, you want to join?" They're like, "Yeah, sure, let's play." So these little kids, probably 5 or 6 years old, like a brother, sister, and an older sister, they all join our circle. We start playing Peace Sticks together, and they're just having the time of their lives. They're like having so much fun. So they're like, hey, mom and dad, like, come join us. And so they call their parents over. Their parents join the circle. And then there's like 10 of us all playing pea sticks in a circle.
Wow.
And like it creates like this vortex of energy.
Hmm.
And it what it does is it like dissolves all these fake social barriers that we all
Yep.
have up, all these walls. And it just lets us be playful humans. And like literally within like 5 minutes, we were like best friends with this family
Yep.
because this game was like facilitated that connection. And so like it turned out, we like the mom had to go drop the kids downtown. So they're like, oh yeah, you can just hang out with our husband and our kids and we'll be back in an hour. And like, so we just like hung out and like we were just great friends after this. And like it would have never happened without this game. And I've literally seen that happen like hundreds of times. And it's truly amazing. So like anyone watching this, if you're watching this now or in the future, thank you for joining us for this conversation. And if you've ever played Pea Sticks, please drop a comment and just say like with one word, like what was your experience like playing Pea Sticks? Because I have a strong feeling that many of you tuning into this have played Pea Sticks at least once. So yeah, please share like what your experience was and maybe where you played it. Because like I've brought this to dozens of events and festivals all along the East Coast. Shine's been mostly on the West Coast and going all to Hawaii and Costa Rica. But like it would be really cool to see like where people encountered the game of Pea Sticks.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Thank you for sharing. And, I really like deeply appreciate you sharing it in your authentic way. That's like just fills my heart that it's like continuing and touching people. And you said something in there that I've really found to be true also, which is the kind of dissolving of the ego and the roles and the barriers of connection, which is, it's a challenging thing in this culture. It's like you think of the janitor at the hospital and the doctor, and when they pass in the hallway, there's like this crazy disconnect because they think there's something, or the kid and their parent or the student and the principal, like, and what you said is totally true, that once people start doing this, all that just disappears, and then all of a sudden we're just like inner children playing, and you really get to feel someone's energy in the most authentic way because you're like you're giving and receiving energy, and you can see it and feel it and move with it. And sometimes when it comes to words, like there's a lot of barriers, like there's a lot of languages on the planet, a lot of dialects, and a lot of judgment in the whole language system. So and you said, at the end you were like friends with these people on a deep level so fast, and that's what I found also. And I think that ties into World Peace Tribe. And World Peace Tribe is like the canopy organization for Peace Sticks and Shining Lion music. It was our way to kind of bring it all together. And I think that's really at the foundation of it, is how can we live in this friendship, with all other human beings and all other living things, and really like know that we have the power to bless and help each other in all life. And when we start coming from that place, it's like, wow, life is so beautiful. You get to be friends with each other and trust each other and help each other, because we can kind of get into this false illusion of thinking that, I've got it all taken care of by myself. I've got enough money and I've got the insurance, and I go to the store and I can buy my food in a plastic package, and like I got it, I don't need anyone. But if you just go like a millimeter below that, like we are so interdependent with each other and all of these other life forms, and to really like get in our hearts and say like, feel the gratitude of that I think is where like the deeper like love for life comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for speaking to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we are totally all interconnected, and the thing is, like, if you are a millionaire, you could probably just put yourself in your mansion and just get all your food delivered. You could have a maid clean all your stuff. and according to the American dream, you would be successful, you would be
Right.
living the greatest life ever. But the truth of the matter is that would be a terrible existence, and that would be, you would probably be super lonely, and you would be missing out on the beauty of life. And so like what Shine is speaking and what I'm speaking is like, we all are part of this interconnected web across the globe. So let's figure out our place in it and how we can live our lives in harmony and in service to this greater collective. So that's what this conversation's about. If you're tuning into this, friends, now or in the future, please like this. Feel free to share it if you feel inspired, if you're feeling the energy. And please say in the comments like where you're coming to us from, where you're at right now on the planet, because part of our intention here is to help unify the different networks all across the globe, because we're stronger when we're together, you know. So yeah, I'd invite you to share, Shine. I know that when I play Peace Sticks, one of my favorite things to do is to beatbox and get this rhythm going. And so, and in a recent live video, by the way, anyone watching this right now, please follow Shine on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. Can you just briefly say where you're, so people can find your page real quick?
Yeah, World Peace Tribe on Instagram and Facebook, and I think it's Peace Sticks and Shining Lion on YouTube. Cool. We have a Shining Lion on Instagram too and Facebook. So those are the two to remember: World Peace Tribe and Shining Lion and Peace Sticks. If you search those, you'll find us.
Cool. Yeah, and on Facebook, he's just Shane Rilling. So Shane, also known as Shine, but on Facebook it's Shane Rilling. I encourage you to follow him because he posts a lot of cool live videos of people playing Peace Sticks and other cool things. And in a recent live video that you did, the people were reflecting that as when you had the music playing, so Shine makes amazing music with his group, and when you had the music playing, it was like they could get into that rhythm and they're tossing the sticks back and forth, and it's like you just enter this total flow state, which is literally like the most magical experience. So could you just explain like how the music that you make kind of fuses in with this whole movement that you're a part of?
Yeah, totally. So yeah, Peace Sticks and World Peace Tribe, I feel like, is all about connecting to nature and connecting to our natural selves. And you know, with my degree in biology, when you look at nature, like everything is in a rhythm. You know, your heartbeat, your breath, the sun, the moon, the tides, the hummingbird, like the whole thing is in rhythms. And that the rhythm is what connects everything. And I think that's why music has such a powerful healing effect on the world. You know, when you think of like Bob Marley or John Lennon, and like, why do hundreds of thousands of people and billions of people go to this? And it's because that rhythm helps to reconnect us to everything else. You know, we always are, but when we actually feel the rhythm or move with the rhythm, then we get to feel it. And you know, I love music. I listen to music a lot. I've been making up music my whole life, and playing peace. You know, you can like Kevin said, if you don't have music going, you can actually beatbox while you're playing and like make your own music. And even just throwing those sticks back in a rhythm is like a form of music. And I think playing some music live, whether it's drumming or at a festival or whatever it is, that kind of gives a whole new dimension to it, because it really helps both people to sync up on the rhythm. And then you've got like the power and the energy of the music that's also moving your body. And I think, yeah, some magical flow states happen like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So y'all tuning into this, like I will share with y'all that I have been really into, you know, healing music for probably 12 years. And I have, you know, explored so many nooks and crannies of this earth to find healing music, because I've seen its powerful impact on my life and on so many other people's lives. And I just want to give my like testimonial that Shine's music and him and Shyla Ray and Oliwa, like they are making some of the most amazing healing music. And literally not many people know about it. Not many people have heard it. And like I'm just gonna be like shouting it from the rooftops for my whole life. Like their music is seriously amazing. I'm just gonna post in the comments real quick a link to their music so y'all can make sure you don't forget to check it out. They've got two new albums out, but all of their albums are phenomenal. And I just encourage all of you to carve out some time in your busy lives to like really absorb these healing vibrations that they're creating. And they're making this music in Ojai, which I invite you to speak to, Shine. It's called the Sacred Valley of the Moon. I believe that's a Chumash or Shumash word. Could you just explain about like the sacred lands of Ojai and the native people that did live there and still live there? Because I really feel like that's an important puzzle piece, in everything we do, is like honoring our ancestors, honoring, the people that have, been stewards of this planet for thousands of generations. Because, our modern society, we've lost our way. I mean, we've literally gone crazy. Even though we have millions of dollars in America, there was literally, I saw in the news yesterday, like 50 mass shootings in the last 2 months. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? So like, if you could just speak to like that piece of like reconnecting to the land, honoring, the native ancestors, and how like that energy of Ojai like infuses into your music.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
We got a little dream catcher painted on this peace stick.
Nice.
And I think the dream catcher, is a beautiful symbol for living in the web of life, which I think you find in almost all indigenous cultures, is like this deep reverence for all living things, and knowing that the quality of our life and the quality of our children and our tribe is all dependent on all these other living things. And yeah, I feel so blessed to have grown up in Ojai and live here now. And when I was a kid, I was part of this theater group, a family theater group, and we would do these Chumash plays. And so in the play, we'd act out like the different legends of the Chumash, the different creation stories, and we would dress up and we would make these talking sticks, actually, which is a stick that's split down the middle and then has like a leather wrapping, and you play it in your hand to make a rhythm. And so we would make those, and we made we made this thing called a bull roar, which is like something you swing, and we learned their songs, and it was just so special because I think by doing all that, we were really tapping into the energy of this place. And Ojai is a sacred place on the planet. Krishnamurti, who is, a global peace teacher, came here, and a lot of other people came to learn from him. And there's just awesome like yoga and organic farms. And I think people choosing to live as consciously as possible. And yeah, I really love like this land, the mountains, the topas and the creeks. And I, take my kids to the creeks and eat food from this land. And I think that it's something pretty, I also live in an intentional community where we have a community garden. And I think especially, when COVID started, all of a sudden it was like, I felt people started really realizing what a gift it is if you are able to live in a community or live close to the land. And, people, I know like it's hard for me sometimes to spend like a good amount of time in a city with all that noise and chaos and just kind of like pollution and all those things. And so to be able to live pretty close to nature most of my life is a huge blessing. And I think that really does inspire the music. And that's like in my heart for the children of the planet, they get to know nature and the beauty of it. We just gotta little natural animal showing up here.
Yay! Welcome, Aleka. Would you like to share anything with our global online community about Peace Sticks or about perhaps your new album? So Aleka, aka DJ Dinosaur, just released a new album which I've been sincerely enjoying. I like the oinga boinga boinga boinga.
Yeah, that's a
um,
fancy.
so Aleka, would you like to share anything with the world? If you do, please speak loud so everyone can hear you.
I could share a little bit. This is my son Aleka, and he's definitely like a bringer of the new vibration on the planet. You know, of just like love and learning, and yeah. So we just dropped our first album together, and his name is DJ Dinosaur, and yeah, it's just been a magical process to like make music with him. And I think because he's been like so supported in his life by all these creative people, that for him it's just natural to like make things and not even think twice about it, you know. And so DJ Dinosaur is actually the first song that we started recording for this whole album, and it's just pure fun, you know, fun and love, and people just get down to it. And when I think about like the dinosaurs, you know, these are like ancient roots, and sometimes I think like, well, what if I was just cruising out of nature one day and saw like a dinosaur? Like it's just so big and so powerful. And I think that's kind of like the power of love is like that big and powerful, you know. And I think that's something special he brings, is just a really pure loving frequency, and people can feel it, and it's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you know dinosaurs could eat 10 of me?
10 of you?
Is that 500 pounds?
Dinosaurs could eat 10 what?
Because he's saying dinosaurs can eat like 500 pounds, so they could eat 10 of him.
In one bite.
In one bite?
Yeah.
Ooh.
They
So
could
they eat like 10 of me in one bite.
Jeez.
Wow. That's amazing.
But those are T-Rexes.
Okay. What's the biggest dinosaur?
Sky told me, I forgot.
Isn't it like the Argentinosaurus?
I think Sky said there was one bigger one.
A bigger one?
But
So-
I know he's probably right.
I have a theory. I have a theory to share with you, Aleka. My theory is that dinosaurs still exist to this very day, and they're actually right near where you're at right now. Can you guess what they are? Can anyone guess, watching this now or in the future, what dinosaurs are hiding? They're disguised? They're actually incognito. Dinosaurs still exist on this planet. What did you say?
The closest I know of are super big sharks.
Super big sharks. That's true. The whale shark is a pretty bad butt creature. And but
some
hey,
sharks are prehistoric, but
yeah,
there's also a lot of things that we don't know about, like turtles, alligators, like almost most reptiles were dinosaurs.
that's true. You're quite knowledgeable, and you probably know more about this stuff than I do. And I will say that my theory is that dinosaurs are disguised as very old trees. So very old trees are like stationary dinosaurs. They're literally like the same size or bigger than dinosaurs, and they existed at the same time as dinosaurs, as far as I know. And like, I have this obsession with visiting the oldest trees in every town, every city, because some of these trees, like I recently visited a tree that was over 400 years old, and just being in this tree's presence, I felt like I was chilling with a dinosaur, like literally. And I encourage, I wanted to ask y'all, there's a tree that it's on my bucket list to play peace sticks around this tree. I know you've played with the fig tree, the Moreton Bay fig tree in Santa Barbara. I
Uh-huh.
definitely want to go there, but there's a less famous fig tree in Santa Clara or Santa Paula. It's about a few
I think I
miles from
know
there.
that one. Yeah.
It's right on the main drag. You
Yep.
drive past it. It's literally like a dinosaur chilling right there. And like the cool thing about really big trees is that no matter how like much you're stuck in your like robotic lifestyle, like coming in the presence of like a 400-year-old tree, it like stops people in their tracks. They're like, whoa, like this is cool, this is
Yeah.
crazy, and I feel like that's similar to a dinosaur. And so I wanted to see if like, can you think of the oldest tree that you've ever been to, Aleka?
Yeah, there is one.
Which one was it?
I mean, I'm guessing it's one of the oldest trees I've found. Remember that one that fell?
Back
That
behind.
we used to climb on?
Yeah.
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 That one was probably like 500 years old.
Yeah. A giant oak tree.
Wow.
And there's two actually really interesting facts about this tree. It's pretty close to where we live, and we used to like climb up in it, and then it was burned by a fire, and we went back one day, and the whole top of the tree had fallen over. So it was like really lucky that we weren't in it when it fell. The two cool facts about this tree. The first one is that this is like an art piece by our friend James Shanahan that is the cover of the DJ Dinosaur album. And the first thing we did to make this was we went out to that tree, and Aleka sat on one of the big branches, and I took a picture of him. And that's how we kind of got the image of him like sitting on the back of something. So he was
Wow.
literally sitting on the back of a tree.
There you go.
Isn't that crazy?
I told you, I knew it.
And then the other cool thing about that tree is that I was by that tree one day meditating, and I had been in a car accident and like hurt my face, and I was really in this deep healing process. And I walked over to the tree, and I just kind of like felt it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this thing is so big and so powerful. And it had also, like had been injured, and I was just thinking, the power of nature is so strong, and I just wanted to like call on that power of nature for myself, for my body to regrow and heal. And that was the inspiration for the song Strength of an Oak Tree, which is on
Nice.
the DJ Dinosaur EP.
Wow.
And and I just single, on the single, sorry. But I think about
single DJ Dinosaur.
Okay, Aleka's correcting me. They're all singles.
He's your PR manager.
Yes. And so this song, Strength of an Oak Tree, it's like pretty much every human being goes through some sort of healing process. We get hurt, we fall, or we get whatever happens.
Yeah.
And I know like a lot of people are going through major healing processes right now on the planet. And so that was the inspiration for this song, that we just really ask for the power of nature to help regrow our bodies to the strongest, most amazing form possible. And that song talks about different trees and their different powers. And another neat thing that happened was there's probably another 400-year-old oak tree that was right in the front yard of the neighborhood where I grew up. And so every day I'd like see this huge tree and its giant canopy. And that tree broke and fell down like recently. And it was just this crazy thing. It scared my mom a lot because she was working and the whole thing broke, and like the branches were touching her window. And I drove by, I was going to record one day with Oliwa, and I just got this intuition to stop at my mom's. And when I pulled into my mom's, there was like this big crew and this big giant machine that was like cutting the whole tree up, and they had cut it down. And it was like the last time that I saw that tree. And I went from there to the studio to record this song. And it was just like I had this whole other meaning of like, wow, this tree has been my friend like through my whole life. And it's probably the biggest, most powerful, giving, living thing that I've known. And so when I sang that song, I was just feeling like just so much gratitude for the trees. And so I hope people listen to this song and go sit under a tree and hug a tree and plant a tree, because I think that is probably one of the simplest, most powerful things we can do to heal the planet. You know, it's just like connect with the trees and be their friends, you know?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that powerful story. I was getting chills when when you just spoke about it, like right after that, going to the studio, because that I feel is one of the things, like we were talking earlier about how Peace Sticks reminds us that we're interconnected with other humans, and we can, dissolve those social barriers to connection. And another thing is like dissolving the barriers.
Aleka,
Yeah.
1 sec. Aleka's he wants to go play some more. He's had enough screen time, so he wanted to save.
Okay, yeah, let's hear it.
Do you want to say
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Aleka, for joining us. I hope you have a great moon day.
All right, peace.
So yeah, I was just saying about how we're not only dissolving the illusionary boundaries between us and other humans, but we are bridging, reconnecting the connections with trees, with soil, with animals, with all of these different elements that we're literally made of the same things as the whole web of life. Like the only thing that separates us is that we have all these complicated stories going in our brains, and we've created all these things we've created our own little like turtle shell, human turtle shell, but we're literally the same thing as all the other creatures. And so I think it's really important for us to like find sacred ways of reconnecting with the web of life. One of my most simple recommendations to everyone is like walk barefoot in nature every day, even if it's cold out. Just, it's like getting that pure connection, which reminds me, I'm going to post this in the comments real quick. One of my favorite people on YouTube, she just published a great video yesterday all about earthing, and how, it seems like such a bizarre, like just the fact that we have to have a concept called earthing is like a sign that we is like a sign that we're like so lost. but it's true that walking barefoot is really healing. And I encourage everyone to get over whatever story is stopping you from doing that. My mom's like, what if I step on a piece of glass? I'm like, if you walk in the grass, you're not gonna hit any glass. Like if you're not in a weird place where people are partying, like you're gonna be fine. So yeah, do you have any? Yeah, go ahead.
When you said earthing, it's like an incredible synchronicity, because literally I was on the phone with my dad and my sister today, talking to them about this book that I've been reading about earthing. And I bought this like pad that goes on my bed that grounds me while I'm sleeping, and how I've felt like this dramatic shift in the level of rest and healing every night. And so it's just crazy that you were just talking about that. And I'll just explain like in 2 seconds what I've learned about it. Basically, the earth is an electrical field, and we are electrical beings with all these electrical processes. And when we are in direct connection with the earth, there's this exchange of electrons that's happening between the earth and our body. And that basically is like antioxidants and cleansing our whole system. So it reduces inflammation, which is like the root cause of most diseases.
Exactly.
And it's crazy, and so just to know that, wow, we may be able to heal ourselves by just taking time every day to get our bare feet on the earth. It's incredible. And, I got these earthing pads, and one of the cool things is like, okay, if you're not grounded, if you're like on plastic or asphalt or something, all the EMFs go through your body.
Yeah.
But when you're grounded, they go around you. You're like part of the Earth's energetic field, and they go up and over
Yeah,
you.
you're like,
So I mean, it's crazy. And I think that it's, the pads I got were like $200. And I'm like, wow, if this is going to help me like rest and heal better every night of my life, like what a better investment. So
yeah.
Earth. And, and I think that all tunes into this album a lot, Supernatural.
Yes.
And because when Supernatural, it's like, how like we how do we really become supernatural beings? And I think it is through our connection with nature, because that's the force, that's the reality of what's happening on this planet. And I feel like so much of the dis-ease and the depression and just all this insane things that we are like suffering from are ultimately just due to our disconnect from nature.
Yeah.
And so a lot of this album is just about nature. It's about planting seeds, about being in nature, about the hawks, about the water, and really celebrating it. And I think a lot of this, we pretty much started recording this album right as COVID hit. And so I had a few days that were just miraculous. I remember going to the beach one day, and it's at a spot where they have like RV camping, and it's a spot I've surfed since I was a little kid. And I went there, and there were no RVs. There were no generators going. I could
Wow.
see the water. There was no pollution. There were no people. And I'm just like, wow, this is the first time in my entire life that I have seen this beach like this with no noise pollution. And I went down to the water, and I was doing this meditation. And in the meditation, I was like, I really want God, like, show yourself to me. And during the meditation, I spontaneously opened my eyes, and there's this sea lion, like right by the shore, just looking right into my eyes.
Wow.
And then I saw all these dolphins, and it just seemed like everywhere I went, the animals were just like out and celebrating. And I'm like, thank God that human beings have stopped the machine
Yeah.
for once, that we just
Yeah.
stopped. And the
Yeah.
animals and were just like, whew. And I just feel like so many people, instead of running in the rat race, had some time to go out in nature more,
Yeah.
and I remember like going out to this water hole like on a weekday during COVID, where normally there'd be no one there because all the kids are like in their classroom learning mindless stuff. And there's like all these families and kids swimming, and I'm just like, yeah, like this is what we're meant to do. We were meant to
Yeah.
play outside.
Yeah.
And so I hope, as the COVID narrative makes its way, I hope that everyone who did have these magical nature experiences like remembers that and knows how good, how important that is, and that we really make this a priority in our life and in our
Yeah.
children's lives to like go out into nature and live.
Yes. Thank you so much for speaking that. And once again, to all of you
Yeah.
tuning in now or in the future, thank you for joining us. I am talking with my good friend Shine of Shining Lion Music and World Peace Tribes, co-creator of the amazing game Peace Sticks. Like literally, y'all, if you haven't played the game Peace Sticks, I'm gonna be honest, you're missing out on one of the coolest games out there. So if you want to get your own pair, I believe the website is worldpeacetribe.com. Is that correct?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, check out worldpeacetribe.com. These are made. Could you speak a little bit about how the peace sticks are made and how that whole process goes?
Yeah. Here's a peace stick right here. All the first peace sticks I made just by like finding driftwood and bamboo, and I was making them in California. And then I went to Nicaragua on a surf trip. And when I went there, I just ended up meeting all these local people and really like fell in love with this one beach and had this vision to start a peace center. So we ended up buying this small piece of land and starting a peace center. And for the last 8 years, I've been going there for like a month and a half every summer and making peace sticks with the local people. And it's been such an incredible experience because, I really started with nothing. And over the years, we've probably worked with like 60 to 100 people of all ages, from like little babies to grandparents. And every day, like everyone will come to the Peace Center and make peace sticks. And we don't use any power tools. We just like hike into the forest and cut off the sprout up branches from a tree called guasimo, and then use a machete to like peel the bark, sandpaper, and a saw. And the people there are very good at just like basic living. Like everyone there knows how to use a machete. And then we paint the sticks with all different symbols of peace from around the world, like all different animals and colors, and just anything that we think is going to share a good vibe with people when it ends up in your hands.
Yeah.
And it's been so fun, and awesome conversations come up with the kids, because a lot of them, they've never traveled. And so when we're painting an Om symbol, then we like talk about India, and we talk about what is Om, like this original sound of creation, and just different paths of peace, because I feel like that's available to us right now on the planet, is to learn from all these really wise ancient cultures about how to cultivate peace within ourselves and our relationships and with nature.
Yes.
So it's amazing to like talk to the kids and say, hey, this stick that you're holding and painting right now with this little dolphin, it may travel all over the world. It might end up in the hand of like a billionaire at a rehab center, like who knows. And for them to like feel this connection that like, I'm 5 years old and I paint this stick, and it's going to be like in the hands of like people all over the world. It's a really special feeling.
Yeah, I can feel in the pea sticks that you all create, like the energy is so palpable. I mean, I'm a very sensitive creature. I like to use the term attuned because I'm very attuned to energies. Like you were saying, when you're bare feet on the earth, you can feel a difference. It's like if I don't walk barefoot on the earth every single day, it's like my life goes down 50%. My quality of life goes down because I'm a very sensitive creature, and I'm okay with that. And I can literally feel like the good energy, the positive vibrations in these sticks. And like I recently ordered this new pair from Shine. He mailed them to me, and they've got these beautiful snakes on them. And the snake medicine is very sacred to me. And as I was showing before, this is one of my favorite things to do. So I like twirl them in my fingers as I walk. And this literally, like our hands are a mirror image of our whole body, a fractal representation. So by like exercising your fingers and your hands every day, it like keeps your mind sharp, and it keeps everything like flowing and activated. And so like that's one of my favorite. I mean, there's literally like 100 applications for these pea sticks. Yeah. I mean, I could literally make like 20 different commercials for pea sticks right now. Maybe I will, because I believe in them so wholeheartedly. And like y'all watching this, like what I want you to know, it's like, this isn't just a game. This isn't just like Monopoly, like another game to add to the shelf. It's literally a way to like help heal ourselves and heal our relationships with other humans and heal the earth. Like I feel like remembering that like why energy of like, why are we doing this? Why is this so important? Why is this so important right now? And like, just to hop on my soapbox for a minute again, like our world is so lost and so disconnected. Like the mainstream society, I call it the mainstream strange dream. Hashtag mainstream strange dream. It's like I had this vision. Like I'm just gonna share this. Like I had this thing the other day. I was like, what if you had, how there's like recurring nightmares? You go into a nightmare and you have some scary monster chasing you every single day. This scary monster is chasing you, and you're like, wow, this is the worst dream ever. Like, get me out of here. And then you wake up and you're back in this normal reality. You're like, whoa, thank God I'm back. And you're like, and then someone's like, hey buddy, like I'm going to give you this superpower, and it's going to let you go into that dream world and transform that monster into a friend. And
Yeah.
it's also gonna help you transform the landscape of that dream. So then rather than exploding scary things and bombs dropping on you, you're gonna be able to you're gonna be able to turn that dream world into like a cool playground where everyone's happy and working together. And
Wow.
and so you get this superpower and you go back into the dream and you're like, okay, I'm gonna turn this scary monster into like a cheetah, and I'm gonna be able to be friends with this cheetah, and we're gonna have races
Yeah.
and stuff. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, the scary scenery, it's gonna turn into like beautiful sunsets all the time. Like there's just weird
Mm.
astrology and there's sunsets all the time in this dream world. So like
Huh.
you transform this whole dream world because you have this new superpower and you're like, wow, this is so great. And the lesson of this whole thing is that like that's our life. Like we've literally
Yeah.
created a shitty dream for millions of people when it could be a fucking awesome dream for millions of people. Like we've just created these stories and these broken systems where literally like if you go to Whole Foods, I mean, this was before COVID specifically. They have a hot bar where they serve hot food. Like I would literally go there at 10 p.m. because I usually get there late. They're literally taking 50 pounds of kale, dumping it into the trash, 50 pounds of chicken wings, dumping it into the trash, 50 pounds of macaroni, dumping it into the trash every single day, every
Wow.
single Whole Foods.
Wow.
I literally calculated and even asked the store manager, they throw away like at least 500 pounds of fresh, good food every single day, every single Whole Foods, and every single grocery store in America is fucking doing that. Like it
Wow.
is literally insane. So like we've created a totally shitty, inefficient dream.
Mhm.
And those of us who give a shit, I'm knocking over my microphone because I'm so hyped up. Um, those of us who care, those of us who want to be earth protectors and earth warriors, I really feel like it's our responsibility to step our game up and to
Yeah.
utilize our superpowers to freaking not knock over our microphones. No, to utilize our superpowers to
Yeah.
transform this world. And there's literally a million action steps you can do. One simple action step is to start playing Peace Sticks, check out Shining Lions music. After that, you can call me for some more ideas.
Wow, bro. I was like in it, and what a beautiful teaching. And yeah, the superpowers. And I'm like looking at the album cover. I'll show you all again. This
Yeah.
is our album cover, Supernatural. And it's got like these spirit animals, the lion, just like you were talking about playing with the cheetah in your dream, and the dolphin
Yeah.
and the buffalo and the
Yeah.
hawk and
Yeah.
the rainbow. And I think that this is like, it's the beautiful dream. And when we make this music, we really put like all of our prayers and just as much love into it to make it as beautiful and inspiring, so that as people listen to it, it activates their superpowers to create this dream of like Garden of Eden on the planet. And I think getting to make this album with my son Aleka, like I'm looking at his little smiling face here. This was a picture we took at Cesar Creek, actually, right, where we were living before.
Yeah.
And he is just like this amazing example of what is possible for a human being when they come into a more like healed, whole world. And I think he's been really lucky to grow up in this um, community where we have like a garden and all these people he can trust, and a lot of beauty, like beautiful flowers and animals. And he's just like so alive and so lit up. You just don't
Yeah.
see the like junk that
Yeah.
most human beings are carrying around, and the falseness.
Yeah.
And I really just want that prayer for all children on the planet, for them to get to like see animals, for them to get to
Yeah.
swim in clean water and breathe clean air. And
Yeah.
I think that it is every human being's responsibility to give them that gift and give that gift to ourselves. And that's like, the indigenous people talk about, you know, you make your choices for the next 7 generations. And so everything you're
Yeah.
going to do, you're putting like as much care and love into it as possible, because you know that it's going to have an effect that's going to last. And so that's why we're doing this, you know, that's why we're talking together, and why I even like just reached out to you to do this, because I know that you feel that same prayer. And I know everyone tuning in, you know, it's really, it's only like a product of the brainwashing that anyone wouldn't do that. You know, it's only a
Yeah.
product of that much advertising that people are like drinking Pepsi and going to McDonald's and throwing the trash on the ground, because at a, at the core of our being, like, we all want our children to be healthy and happy. That's it, you know.
Yeah.
And then when you, if that's what you want, then it's just like, okay, it's fresh air, it's clean water, it's healthy food, and it's like safety and trust and tribe. It's people that, you know,
Yeah.
if your kid is around them, you can trust them. And when
Yeah.
people, you know, when all these 500 pounds of food that they're throwing away every day was going to the people, there wouldn't be that many people who you couldn't trust,
Yeah.
you know. And if the people got to live in a place with more beauty and have their needs met, like, why, there's no reason not to trust each other and love each other. And I think that that's,
Yeah.
it's in our hands, and we're doing it right now. And I
Yeah.
think you know, these songs are like about that, they're little energy boosts, you know, little
Yeah.
rainbow, like, listen to
Yeah.
this and let's do it together and have fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just posted in the comments a link to your Spotify. So,
Oh, thank you.
Shining Lion's previous two albums, which are both phenomenal, are on Spotify. I posted a link in the comments. And yeah, I totally agree. Like that's a huge piece for me. Like the reason why I keep doing the work that I'm doing is because I look into little kids' eyes. I mean, I don't have children of my own, but I'm an uncle to many friends' children and children coming soon. And I'm like, I want to be able to look into these kids' eyes and be like, look, I gave it everything I had. I fucking tried to help heal the planet and to help change things and to help stop these companies from destroying and to stop injustices. Like, at least I tried. Like, a lot of people, I feel like they give up because they feel overwhelmed, they feel too small, they feel like it's impossible. But it's like, at least try. You know, it's fun to at least try and try to be a good person, try to reach out to people, try to pick up litter, try to, and like, see what happens. What's the worst that could happen? You know, you play peace sticks and you have a good time. Like, and so I just encourage everyone watching this to like find ways that you can take action. And yeah, like Shining Lion music is like fuel. It's like you wake up in the morning, you could either turn on CNN and learn about the worst tiny sliver of reality and have your whole day be filling that energy, or you could wake up, turn on Shining Lion music, and have this blast of nature energy and good vibes and have that fuel your day, you know?
Mhm.
So Scoobly Doo, this has been great talking, brother.
Yeah.
I know you had said you wanted to perhaps play a little flute. I think that would be a cool way to, right before we close off here, like kind of a little meditation to calm out
Yeah.
the fire energy that we stirred up. I think we stirred up
Totally.
all the elements, but I feel like the flute would be a good way to like wind it down. If
Yeah.
also if anyone in the comments watching this now or in the future, if any of you have questions, comments, please post mine or me. We'll try to answer them later. So thank
Cool.
you all for tuning in. We appreciate, because you all are a part of like bringing out this conversation. So thank you, real
Yeah.
people. I know you're
Real
real
people.
out there behind the screens. I know you're fucking real because we're real and we're all part of this. So
Keeping it real. Yeah, I had a couple things that I wanted to share before playing the flute. The first one is, yeah, to everyone who's listening, just know that like every day that we go into the studio to record, we start with a prayer. And one of our prayers is like, you know, to make us clear channels for this music to come through in like the way that is most going to benefit your life
Yeah.
for whoever it is. And I think it is because we are a community that the music comes through. You know, it is like, it's like the universe saying like, I'm going to give you this gift, and here's a few beings that I can like can help it along the way, and here it is. So, and I know everyone who's heard it so far, you know, they feel it, and I know you will feel it too. I wanted to give you all a quick little insight into what's happening here in the World Peace Dome. I just had
Please.
a couple of awesome friends show up, and they've dropped into meditation in the sunlight
Oh,
over here.
that's what's up. Who do we have here? Do you want to say hi?
This is my
Hi. Hi. I'm Chris.
and
Hi,
Jake.
Chris.
Yeah, they're both amazing creators.
Nice.
Chris is an awesome rock climber, and Jake is a guitar player and film editor. We're working on stuff together, so you'll feel their vibes.
That's what's up.
And oh yeah, the thing I wanted to share when you were talking about you know, like try to make a difference.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Yoda, you know, and Yoda is like, there is no try, there's do or do not. And I've even heard that, you know, try was kind of implemented in the language to limit people to not really believe that what they're doing is actually making a difference.
Hmm.
And so like just saying like, this is what I do and I am doing it now. And
Yeah.
just knowing that literally like every pebble that's dropped into the water is making the
Yeah.
ripples. There's no question. So every single time that
Yeah.
you like give someone a hug or you say hi and you smile,
Yeah.
you are doing it. You have done it. And it's going to travel on.
Yeah.
And the thing I thought about was like, you know, one of the biggest miracles on this planet is to grow plants. And I think like during COVID, I planted like my whole yard, and to put a seed in the ground and then watch it come up and turn into a flower and give you this smell. It's like, wow, I am part of this, and it is creating heaven on earth right
Yeah.
here, right now.
Yeah.
And like we all have this power. Like anyone can get an old plastic like bottle, cut it in half, put some soil in it, and plant a seed, even if you're in the middle of the inner city, and you can watch it grow, and you could grow something that then you could eat. So
Yeah.
it's like we all have this power in our hands right now. And it's like a, you know, it's a snowball effect, you know, just start wherever you can start,
Yeah.
do the actions, you know, put it into play and watch it, and then watch it grow. And then you just get to this place where it's like, this is the funnest game ever, because we are all creating the dream, and then we all get to benefit from like the magic gifts
Yeah.
that we share. So it's
Yeah.
real. It's 100% real. All right.
Yes.
I'm gonna play the flute for you all, and yeah, thank you so much for being with us. This is a Jaguar flute, and it's on the song "Hawk Calls" on the album. And we'll just drop into a little freestyle spirit flute.
I think he paused there. I thought he was just holding space afterwards, but I guess his signal cut out. Spirit must have been coming in too strong. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, all is in divine order. I trust that this is a good place to close it off. So thank you all for tuning in. This has been really a wonderful conversation, and please do yourself a favor and all your friends and get yourself a pair of pea sticks. They're like 20 or 30 bucks. It's literally like the funnest game ever. And you buy one pair, you'll have it for your whole life. So worldpeacetribe.com. I was just saying, I think Spirit was so strong it cut out the electricity.
It was crazy. Like literally the moment I finished the song, the Zoom flew off my screen. It just went like
What?
whoop, and it was just gone.
Dude.
And then like it was crazy. It was like, wow, we've had some pretty high level synchronicity happening on this call.
Wow, yeah, we're in sync.
Wow.
So I was just encouraging the viewers to get themselves a pair of pea sticks. Worldpeacetribe.com. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And
yeah,
also
also
yeah, go ahead.
CDs. We just got 500 CDs, and
Nice.
I was thinking about it, and it's like be a dinosaur and get a CD because they're almost extinct on the planet, but they have so much power. One,
Yeah.
they like make rainbows in the sunlight.
I know.
But the other thing is like if you've got a CD player in your car and you put it in there, you've got like really high quality sound that you can listen to without fiddling with your phone, without a text coming in. You just got like pure music.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
so I love CDs, and I encourage anyone out there who is still a dinosaur and has a CD player to get one because you'll drop into the music even deeper, and it's worth it.
I totally agree. And even if you don't get a CD, please honor the magic of the energy exchange. If you have appreciated what we've shared here, like buy some of Shine's magical products, buy his music. If you want to send me some energy, I'm always open to receive. Like there's a magic with this energy exchange. And like, all the times that I've bought in pea sticks off Shine and stuff, like it's been such a beautiful thing to receive that energy and to give back. And it creates this beautiful ebb and flow. So like if y'all like what we're doing here and you want us to share more of this, like support what we're doing and we'll keep the vibes growing. So all the links are in the comments. Please drop if you gain something, like if there was a moment in this talk where you got chills or you started laughing, like put that in the comments. Like everyone watching this, like you're a part of this conversation, and you never know, like you might leave a comment and then that encourages somebody else to leave a comment, which then makes two friends from across the universe see that they're connected, and it's like we're all part of this crazy story every single minute. Like it's freaking amazing, and it's only going to continue. And like I will just bring in, like me and Shine are both aware of how sad and disturbing a lot of the stuff that's happening in this world is, and we've both been through our million dark nights of the soul. So we are very positive people, but we're also holding space for all of that tragedy. And the things that we're sharing in this video is what we deeply feel is like the antidote to those things. So I just want to speak to that because I know a lot of people are going through really tough times, and it may not seem hopeful and joyous and everything, but like there are little things that we can all do. And like even if you get a pair of pea sticks and you just put them on your altar, like that is a beautiful part of being a part of this movement. So I just wanted to add in that little puzzle piece. Any closing statements you want to share?
Yeah, thanks for speaking to that, because when I'm doing something like this, I really am focusing my words and my energy as the prayer and like painting the vision that I want to see in the world and for people. And at the same time, like what you said is so true. Like I've been through a lot of really hard things, and so have you, healing our bodies and just experiencing the pain and that exists on the planet. And that I know that's also like a big part of both of our paths is learning as much as we can always, and implementing what we learn to improve the quality of our own life and health so that we can share it out. And I know that you do transformational work, and so do I. So if you're someone watching and you're healing something, or you want to learn about things that are going to improve your life, connect with us. And there's a lot of people in our community that are all here to like support each other to heal what we need to, so that we can really actualize and share our gifts at the highest vibration. So gotta be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for speaking to that. And
Yeah.
I invite us all to just close the circle here. So if you're watching this past, present, future, I invite us to just all join into an energetic circle. If you want to envision us holding hands or just being next to each other, we can just all join in a moment of presence, past, present, and future. In fact, what I like to do, we usually do that. We put the peace sticks in between the hands.
Yeah.
So let's just be in a circle together. Whoever's watching this now in the future, you're welcome to join our circle. There's space, and you are welcome, and you are a blessing to our circle, because we all have a puzzle piece here. So let's just hold presence here for about 44 seconds and honor each of our unique gifts showing up to this beautiful planet at this very important time where Earth protectors are so needed, and we're all being called upon to step our game up, to play more games, to, tune in and see how we can each contribute towards our collective evolution. So let's just hold presence here in stillness for 44 seconds. And as you envision this circle, I invite you to imagine that we're all swaying very slowly in a clockwise motion. So everyone's gently moving in a clockwise motion. So our whole circle is slowly rotating. And as we connect energetically down to Mother Earth, we can feel her healing energy flowing through us, empowering our circle to go out into the world and be of service. And as we stir up this energy, I invite you to feel like there's a momentum flowing around us, a current, a wave. And on the count of 3, I invite you to raise your hands up towards the sky and exclaim any sound, any noise, any word that you want to broadcast into the world. So we're stirring up the energy, stirring up the energy. 1, 2, 3. Shout your word into the world.
World peace, yo.
All right. Thanks and
Keep
praise.
loving.
Yes,
Love you,
indeed.
brother.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh.
All right, y'all. Leave your feedback down below, please. We appreciate you. See you later.
Bigger climb up the mountains, surfing the ocean.